Hello dear students, welcome to the orientation session for Current Edge 2024. So what this course is all about? If I boil down the whole ideas into one thing, the course provides you a comprehensive solution to all your current affairs needs for Prelims 2024. We are starting with the concept classes from this Saturday, that is 28th of October. The classes will be followed by the inventive current affairs workbooks. Why I am calling these inventive? Because the workbooks try to integrate different active learning techniques into your learning methodology. We'll discuss more these in the later in this session, and it will be followed by weekly test. From starting from 28 October, every Saturday you will be having current affairs test. It will run till prelims 2024, that is early May 2024. So on that note, let's go into the detailed discussion of current affairs, how you should approach this, what are different learnings from last year, everything we are going to discuss in this in detail. So if you look at the prelims 2023 paper and analysis, paper was quite different on different notes. The factual nature of the paper, the types of question being asked, all these added difficulties to the paper. Along with that, we had a very difficult CSAT paper also. But if you look from different subject perspective, it has been a highly balanced paper, having similar number of questions from all different major subjects. Around 15 questions from direct current affairs, around 30 questions from geography and environment combined, around 15 questions from polity, 14 from economy, 14 from history, and 12 from science and tech. Now, if you speak from current affairs, what I really want you to focus on, is this 15 question your focus of current affairs? Then you are doing it all wrong. This is not at all our focus of the current affairs. These current developments related to 15 questions, that is all about the knowledge part. That means you learn certain XYZ content given in certain compilation or material. If the same knowledge come in the paper, you hit it or you don't hit it. Let's go beyond that. Let's analyze what are different types of questions being asked in every other subjects. In geography, you will get around 3 questions from maps, from places. Around 2-3 questions we had from rivers, lakes. We had a question on Jhelum river. And around 2-3 questions we had on different species. Where these questions are coming from? Every single question is related to current developments. This you can easily relate. For example, a question on Ukraine, different cities, neighboring cities of countries of Ukraine, you had a questions. Similarly, questions on Jhelum river, on Vular lake. All these, why it is in importance during that time. We have in detail discussed the maps of Ukraine as well as Jammu and Kashmir. So you need to build these interlinkages. Similar trend you can see in every paper. Around 3 questions from polity are related to recent developments. For example, the question on the Prison Act, question on modernization of prisons. Similarly, around 7 questions from economy is directly picked from current developments. For example, the CBDC questions. We will show this question later on also. In history also, history is one subject which most people highly focus at, consider it as a static subject. But we have provided you a complete current affairs developments in history, especially those developments like when Prime Minister visits Joe Biden or any major leader, he gifts him with certain artigraphs. What kind of artigraph it is important to us. So we have created a list of these artigraphs, and we have almost 3 questions directly hit from our materials from history related current affairs. Around all the questions from science and tech that are one way directly linked to current developments. Hardly you will get a question nowadays from basic sciences. So if you look broadly how much questions you can directly or indirectly link with current developments, that is 15 from here, 10 from here, 25, 28, 35, 38 plus 12, you will get around 50 questions. 50 questions one way or other, directly or indirectly, is related to current developments. Can you get these 50 questions right in the paper? Even if I assume that you have a 50% hit ratio in this question, considering all these concepts which you don't know and all these negatives removing all these aspects. If you maintain a 50% hit ratio, you have got 25 questions right. 25 questions right, you have 50 marks in your kitty. If you can make this 50 marks in your kitty, considering different analysis, this year cutoff is between 80 and 85. In a paper where cutoff is at max 85, you are getting 50 marks by doing current affairs. Nobody can stop you from clearing prelims. Can you see the importance of current affairs? Now this importance will only come into picture if you can build interlinkages in current affairs. If you can learn current affairs, see current affairs in a comprehensive manner. If you limit all your current affairs preparation to learning XYZ compilation just 1 month before prelims or 2 months before prelims, nobody can save you. This 50 marks is, forget about it. Better you focus on the other 50 questions. So it's only if you have a comprehensive approach, if you have a approach that link current affairs with other developments, if you have an open mindset to learning current developments, then only these you can even understand these questions had some current linkages, similar to the history questions we were talking about. Otherwise, you will not even understand this is a current development related questions. You see the understanding. On that note, let's go to the other part. That is, what are the major learnings from current edge 2023? As I told, we have around 20 questions directly getting hit from our current edge materials, classes and all. We have made a detailed video on this. This detailed video is in the YouTube. You can check out it in the Kalam IAS YouTube channel. Beyond that, that is not the whole crux of it. What I want current affairs is to go beyond factual learning. Never limit your current affairs learning to learning certain facts. It's ultimately not about facts. Even in 2023 paper, many students complain it is a highly factual paper. How you are going to do it? Now, what is your inference from this factual paper and what should be your methodology for next year prelims? Many times if you give a suggestion like focus on prelims, a vague suggestion. If I take history subject or geography subject and start focusing on the static factual data, there is no end to it. Throughout the year I can do this, I can learn different facts in history, still I will be incomplete. So what current affairs preparation should provide you with? It should provide you with a compass to tackle the factual questions in prelims. It provides you what to focus and what not to focus. Sorry. For understanding, see the geography questions. In maps, which locations to focus on, which locations not to focus on, which species to focus on, which species not to focus on. So when you identify certain topics, this you should focus on, give your utmost attention to it. There can be a question, factual question from this topic also. Be ready for that. So this understanding you should, make your current affairs learning. Moreover, we also learn it by mastery in learning by doing. That is all about the current affairs workbooks. How we integrate, it's not about learning certain reading material. I want you to apply your mind. I want you to apply your thought process, develop your own interlinkages. We do this exercise in the class, but it should be done by yourself also. It's only when you learn to apply the knowledge, learn to think on different topics. Then the level of retention, you can see the substantial change in level of retention. Otherwise, if I give you a material and told you to learn it, you read it once, twice. After that, what? Only if you learn to apply those knowledge, then it makes a difference in your preparation. It makes a difference in your hit ratio. Going ahead, let's see some of the examples. Give me a second. Let's see this question. With reference to, this is a history question I was speaking about. With reference to ancient South India, Korkai, Pumpuhar, Muchiri were well known as 4 different options. Ports is the right answer here. Now, why this question came into picture? For a person who is not aware of recent developments, this is a static question. But this has been particularly picked up in our current affairs workbooks. We have certain archaeological survey of India excavation going on in Tamil Nadu. Now, many of the current affair booklets will cover about this excavation. Now, question is nothing nowhere directly related to this excavation. Question is about certain ancient South Indian port. It is only if you can extrapolate this knowledge and learn about megalithic culture in Tamil Nadu or South India that is related to this excavation, then only you can answer this question. Now, this is what I have been speaking about, interlinkages. Most of the question you see, you can answer only if you make these interlinkages. Now, this is what we are going to discuss in the classes also. We give you the topic, a skeletal information on the topic will be given in your workbook. Now, in class, we try to extrapolate this knowledge under different concepts we learn from the static subjects. We try to relate it with different history knowledge, polity knowledge, different other parts of the syllabus. So this interdisciplinary approach you should bring into your current affairs preparation. Going ahead, see the polity questions. This is related to the Prisons Act 1894. Now, why this question came into picture? Because there was a project going on related to modernization of prison project, MOP project. Since this has been in news, we have comprehensively covered this in our workbook. Even in our test series, we had a question, very similar question related to Prison Act 1894. Again, you can see directly it is not about modernization of prisons. It is about basics from management of prisons in India. How you can build this knowledge? If you learn the fact file at the last moment, 120 days before prelims, you are not going to build these interlinkages. So expand your understanding. Expand your perception of understanding current affairs. Similarly, lot many questions we can show you. Like there was cordyceps mushrooms that has recently got some properties, different kind of bioactive components, bioactive properties has been discovered. We have in detail discussed this about these mushrooms. But the question again is not from the mushrooms, question is from some static properties of mushrooms. Now, if you haven't studied these developments, these recent researches that is being happening, this is completely a random questions for you. Now, this is the direction that current affairs preparation should give into your paper. When you see many of the questions in 2023 paper, you will see that this is a completely factual questions. Only if you know it, otherwise you don't know it. But this question has underlying current affairs developments. See these questions underlying, there has been underlying current affairs development linked with the questions. So again, the questions from South Africa map. We have covered different lakes in South Africa in detail. If you have followed this class, attended this class, it's quite a direct questions from you. Revised this material. When we are discussing these map details related to lake, we have in detail discussed other geographies in Africa. So these are the interlinkages I am speaking about. You have to get a fair idea on different locations in Africa, major countries around that lake in Africa. If you have that much you can understand, you can easily answer this question. Similarly, the cities on Ukraine, countries related to Ukraine. Very direct question, current affairs question we have discussed in class in many forms. We have discussed in our workbooks also. So this again science and tech questions. A detailed list on different satellites, what exactly different X-rays, gamma rays, infrared rays, what kind of celestial bodies these different satellite, different rays based telescopes can observe. Everything has been comprehensively covered. And the question is from different bodies like pulsars, nebulae, etc. in the universe. Directly linking from different observations, James Webb Telescope observation. You might have seen that images of nebula on James Webb Telescope. Again, a question you can link it with some kind of recent development that is happening. So the whole idea I'm saying you is, again, in economy, the CBDC questions. We have done detailed the summary of the concept note on CBDC provided by RBI. If you attended the class, it was a quite direct questions. The whole crux of discussion I'm having here is around 50% of the questions are one way or other linked to current affairs. It may include direct questions from current developments, and never limit the whole idea of learning current affairs, reading newspaper to direct questions from current developments. You have to go into each and every subject. Even static type of questions from other subjects have some underlying current developments. Similar like the maps questions, species questions, science and tech questions, economic questions, etc. And moreover, current affairs should be your guide to analyze what fact to give importance to and what facts not to give importance to. So that's whole analysis of 2023 prelims and 2023 current ed sessions we have run. Going ahead, now the most billion-dollar question: how to approach current affairs. We have spoken too much on the importance, relevance, significance of current affairs. Now, how to study current affairs? If you ask a common student in Karol Bagh, what are his approaches or her approach to current affairs, we commonly see these three responses. Either he is studying from different notes and magazines, he is reading, he or she is reading newspaper every day and making his or her notes, or he or she will be depending on monthly magazines. Different institute has a very famous monthly magazine, so once in a month you will get around 80-100 pages magazine and you will be dependent on that. Or there are other certain students who don't study current affairs at all till it is the crucial point. 2 months, 3 months before prelims, institute come up with compilations. He or she will take the compilations and read this in one go and finish his current affairs study. Now, all these approaches has its own limitations. If you are some student from who is reading newspapers every day and going through magazines on a regular basis, making these notes itself is a tedious task. At least for prelims, note making is a very tedious task. You have huge amount of information. Very high chance your note will become too bulky, not unmanageably bulky. How to tackle this? Now, if you come to current affairs monthly magazines, again 100 pages for 15 months, it is 1500 pages. How to revise these 1500 pages? How to inculcate recent developments? So, if you take January 2023 magazines, on the same topic, some recent developments might have happened. Now, if you are still using that magazine, how you can integrate that? How you can integrate recent developments that is happening? So there are certain limitations with doing with current affairs magazines also. And compilation, this is maybe the most ineffective way of studying current affairs. You may feel consolidated or happy in doing this way, but this will limit your whole current affairs to certain fact-based learning. And with fact-based learning, out of the 50 questions, you will get 5 questions. 45 questions you are going to miss out. Never take these risks. So these whole traditional approaches has its own limitations. What we need is a more comprehensive approach. What we need is a more inventive approach. And that this program is all about, Current Edge 2024. We integrate current affairs into current affairs workbooks. Every week from October 28, that is the upcoming Saturday, you will get this workbook. It will have 20 to 30 topics to start with. Later on, we will increase the number of topics. With more by December, our importance of prelims preparation increases. So the number of topics we will increase. Now, how we will be doing these topics? We're not going to do this in a traditional way. Again, all what we have discussed so far. We try to interlinkage these topics. We try to bring our bridges with other static knowledge from the subject with these topics. So this exercise, all the factual information you will be given in your current affairs books. What you have to do is you have to build the interlinkages. This exercise to some extent we will do in the class. And you can take the notes within the workbooks itself. So every day if you continue this exercise, this can provide you a single point, your own personalized notes for prelims current affairs. You don't need to depend on any other compilations. Your own material will act as a single point notes for current affairs. Going beyond, we will have regular classes on every Saturdays. Then there will be, you can interact with me and the other faculties will be available if you want to clear certain doubts related to certain topics. Then we will have regular tests and for prelims every Saturday. We will have regular tests every Saturday from 28th of October to prelims 2024. You will be having tests. So all these integrated, you will show you some of the examples of the current affairs workbooks. So these are examples from 2023 current edge. So what you can see here, we have covered in detail the Gaganyaan program. Basic information of the Gaganyaan program will be given here. Here what we going to write, take notes from the class, take notes from, if you see any recent development related to Gaganyaan mission, you note down that developments here. This page is all left for the students to give his contribution. Now what is Vigas engine that is being discussed here? These are the areas to extrapolate your knowledge on this subject. What is Vyomitra? What are other countries who accomplished the human space program? Ask different questions related to this topic, then fill the area on the right side of this. So this is the whole idea of integrative learning, active learning in current affairs. You can see this with different other topics like ITER, Jammu and Kashmir map related to Saffron project government has come up with. So the whole current edge 2024 plan so far is, you will have a comprehensive coverage from newspapers like the Hindu and Indian Express, Yojana magazine and PIBS government developments related to government policies and other developments. Then we have specialized magazine coverage like Science Reporter and Down to Earth for environment, species, places in news related developments, Science Reporter for scientific developments. Subject wise coverage classes will start from January 2024. Till January for 2 months you will be having only weekly 1 classes, and we will start with 20 to 30 topics from 28th of October. Then you will have regular tests and workbooks and live discussion will be a part of this. The detailed schedule is provided here. If it is not clear, go to the website, you will get this detailed schedule there. So these are some of the toppers and last year success stories. You can check out further details from our website, or you can visit the website or reach out at the given phone number. So on that note, we will wrap up this orientation session. See you at 5 p.m. 28th October 5 p.m. at ORN Kalam IAS Center. All the best. Thank you so much.